Hey Joeys, this episode is a very special one, officially marking that magic number 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So here comes that sweet, sweet monetization. We might be able to afford like some candy bars for our guest here, right?
Shane, we've been waiting to sell out on this podcast since the day we created this YouTube channel. And today marks the first step towards that joyous occasion.
Gonna happen. Well, and to celebrate, we have a brand new Grammy Award winning intro for you, so let's roll it.
Mountain Bike Podcast, Mountain Biking Podcast, an MTB podcast about mountain biking. We talk about bikes, but in a way we don't. You never know when, by the name. It's the Joey Podcast, now known as the Joey Mountain Bike Podcast for search engine optimization.
Let me just tell you about that intro that just happened, because we had a good intro that was perfectly fine that Jason, the mediocre mountain biker, created for us. And I was like, oh, this is great. Then Shane just one day sends me this audio file with like full emo, like garage band version of it. I'm like, what am I meant to do with this? Like Jason just spent ages. Like, I don't know if it's the same timing or anything. And then Shane's like, whoa, you don't want to use my intro? Fine. And then he just makes his own video and posts it on his Instagram and goes, Paul didn't want to use this. I'm like,
no.
Well, if you sent me the video version, then maybe I would have.
I straight up just took what Jason did and I put it on top of the audio and it happened to work out perfectly.
That's so lucky you have a good sense of time, because otherwise you would have been like, oh, this is annoying.
So is this the intro where you're like, playing the guitar, and this is a podcast about mountain biking.
Pretty much.
Okay.
You know where the lyrics came from?
You would have heard it. Yeah.
Do you know where the lyrics came from?
I assumed you kind of made it up.
Naturally, we made it up, but how we made it up is where the real genius comes in. Is that Shane was like, we should have an intro, and then I started typing, going, oh, I don't know, it should be something like Man Bike Podcast, Man Biking Podcast, MTB Podcast about man biking. And I wrote the intro, and then Shane actually just took it and sang it put it into a song. So that's it.
It's pretty hilarious. I was actually singing it this afternoon just to get like amped up about the podcast.
So catchy.
It's very catchy, yeah. And my fiance was like, "Oh my god, you're such a dork."
Oh wait, hold on. You haven't finished it, Shane. You haven't finished the intro. You've played the intro, but you haven't done the intro.
We're bantering so much. Okay. Welcome one and all to the Joey Mountain Bike Podcast Season 2, where we are consistently inconsistent in bringing you that sweet, sweet, unorganized banter and all things mountain bike related or not. It's been like 2 weeks, right?
I have no idea of time right now. I only know when Sunday is. That's the only day I know when it is.
Well,
Thursday could be any time.
The emails in the comments keep piling up. When's the next one? But as per usual, we will have our regular host, Paul the Punter, and he sounds like this.
Hello, everyone. I'm currently drinking a cup of tea.
Okay. And me, Shane, the crashing padre, or crashing butts if you're on YouTube.
Hold on, crashing padre. Where did you come up with that?
That's
you
Spanish.
Just invented for what? Oh, for father. All right, okay.
It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, but why have you not figured out what the Spanish for crashing is yet?
I think I put it in Google Translate one time, and you and Josh.
Hold on, you did do this, and it came up with. Didn't it come up with something really inappropriate? I can't remember.
No, I can't.
I must know.
I can't remember either. But
is that it? Oh, God, Americans doing an English accent every time. Hello there. I'm an American doing an English accent. I am. I'm choosing 2 mile square radius area of the UK. It's not.
What?
It's bigger than 2 miles.
Oh, all right. Okay. Moving on. This week's guest is a fellow mountain bike YouTuber that just started just under 2 years ago, I believe. She has a great variety of trail riding videos, bike maintenance, product reviews, yoga sessions, racing, vlogs, goal setting, inspiration, and all around great times. It is Giuliana, known to the YouTube world as Sprocket Girl. Welcome.
Yay, drum roll.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Willkommen.
Yes. And I have classically messed up your name, I think, about 3 times now in the spelling.
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's Giuliana's right, but the spelling is Italian. So it gets a lot of people confused around here.
When I first
Shane-
started watching your channel, I was like, you should be riding a Giuliana. What's with the Specialized?
I know, dude. Like, I guess I wasn't really aware of Giuliana bicycles when I started. Actually, 3 years ago. It's already been 3 years. Yeah,
3 years. Right.
but I was sold on the Specialized. It was. It's my only bike I've ever ridden since then, and it's amazing. But
You've demoed some bikes.
I've demoed bikes. I've demoed a Giuliana Rubion. Yep. I am open to other bikes in the future for sure.
But with a bad, not a bad spelling, but with people that spell bad, you just spit your whole life.
and use grammar atrociously at the same time.
Yeah.
Bad spelling.
It's just at this point it's just like eye roll. It's fine.
Well, I mean,
But Shane, your name is exactly the same. Shouldn't you be finding relatableness in
mine
this?
is spelled wrong. Mine is spelled Sheyn, and people call me Sean all the time, or they spell it weird. I've had Shine, Shyn, people, and you know what? I don't blame them. It's happened my whole life. I've lived with it. My wife's name, I'm going to give it away to the internet right now, is Dajali. I don't even know if you could guess.
It's not a fake name.
That's how to spell it, but her and me put together our whole lives. It's just people spelling our names wrong. So I'm sure you're used to that. What's your fiance's name?
Graham.
Graham.
Yeah.
Graham.
Well, I guess you would pronounce it like that, but yeah, it's just Graham.
I've had a whole, I'm just editing this video, and like every time I say root or aluminium or just anything else, I'm now just like, oh God, here I go again. Every time. Americans are just going to complain. English people are just going to complain. And I'm in a real English American language rage, not rage.
You just started to put both of them in.
You just got to own it. I mean, you can't please everyone. And there's always going to be someone who's like, you said that really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, it sounds like you're an experienced YouTuber. Well, as per usual, we are starting off today's segment with Where Have We Ridden Last Week? We don't have an intro song for that. Where have we ridden last week?
We've ridden.
And this is exactly how they're made. And now Shane's going to go away. He's going to make the intro, and then he's going to send it back and go, hey, what about this? And I was like, yep, that's fine.
Yeah.
Put it in.
Why not start with you, Giuliana? Okay, so I'm in Colorado here with you, but I'm on the opposite side. And our trails are open.
How big is Colorado?
I don't know. It's a square.
Big.
It's a square. How big is it? It's a square, so get it from that.
There's a bunch of mountains in it.
Yeah, I have no concept of how big it is compared to something else. I would say, so Shane, you're in Grand Junction,
yes,
right?
correct.
I think from Denver, where I am, to Grand Junction, probably like 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's actually 270,000 kilometers squared. So there you go.
Oh, Paul.
And you have 5.7 million people living there.
How many football fields is that?
Oh, why did that?
Do the translation.
There's got to be a comedy sketch somewhere where it's like, oh, it's actually 3.78 miles. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, 0.76 football fields. Oh, I completely get it now. I get it now.
Football fields. Okay, so trails are not locked down here. They're completely open. What about you?
They are, some of them are locked down and some of them are open, but they've been like recommending that you don't go out to other, communities and stuff and ride. So we've literally been in Denver City for like a month and a half since the lockdown. So I actually have not been on the trail for probably 2 months.
So you can't leave the city to go to the trails that are literally touching the city.
Yeah, technically we could, but I kind of just, I don't know. I don't want to be that person who's like, yeah, I'm just going to go, ride the trails and I don't care about you guys out there. So we've kind of been, sticking to the house more or less.
Good for you, because there have been a lot of people from Denver that I've seen on our local trails out here.
Oh, really? Okay.
And they're like, oh, no, I'm not supposed to be here, but, it's just me.
Yeah.
And then there's like 50 other of them.
There's 50 of them.
Not supposed to be here, but it's just me.
But all my friends, yeah. So the last time I rode was actually a couple days ago, but we just went into like downtown Denver. It wasn't anything like super, gnarly or anything. It was just on the trail, on the sidewalk.
But is it empty?
No.
Oh, no? it's not like Ghost Town and you can huck the stairs and
That would be awesome. Like urban riding. That would be like perfect. I would love to do that. No, it was not empty. There was a lot of people like in, downtown Denver where there's a creek and a river and stuff. People were hanging out. So it was not the greatest.
with masks.
Yeah. With and without masks.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. There's some.
You live on like the side that's very progressive and liberal, and I live kind of on the redneck side that's very like, we're not going to wear a mask,
Mhm.
Oh,
The Trump side. The Trump side.
Yeah.
yeah, basically.
He's the guy telling everyone not to. Well, no, he didn't actually. He told them, well, I'm not going to do it. So, I'm above that.
Colorado, Colorado's pretty split. I won't say which way I am either way, but
Welcome to the Jerry Political Podcast with your political commentarist, Shanae.
So you're just been doing sidewalk riding?
Yeah. I mean, sidewalk riding and like train air riding in this room actually. But
Oh,
no
do you
trails.
Zwift? Do you Zwift?
I don't Swift. No, I actually haven't gotten into that at all. Do you recommend it?
Do I recommend?
Yeah. It's okay.
Anything that Paul has decided he wants to do is the best thing ever, and it's recommended all over the place.
Obviously.
He's right.
I'm a trendsetter, as everyone's always said. That's how they've described me for many years. So,
But like,
Yeah.
I mean, are you also into like Strava? I mean, okay, I said that in a way that makes me sound like I don't know anything about Strava, but like, do you
Sounded
like
you were looking
nerd
down on me
out
for a
on
moment.
Strava?
do you Strava as
Is that
well?
it?
Oh, I know your
Yeah.
type. God, I don't even.
Because I haven't
yeah,
gotten
no,
into that.
Yeah, no, I do. I just use it as a way of like logging everything that I've done, and I can go back and go like, cool, or like, have I done more rides than I did last year, or anything like that. Like right now, back on topic, if I may steer us back into this, is that I didn't really ride much last week, and I only just realized. Do you know what? I'm going to say it. I am becoming lazy, and I'm really disappointed in myself. I'm becoming weak because I don't go to the gym and there's no weights. I've got like 2 20-pound weights and that's it. And then all I do is cardio stuff. So I'm literally wasting away. That's how I feel right now.
I thought CrossFit was your new big thing.
Yeah. But you use weights in that. And you can do like everything, and there's going to be someone in the like ready and waiting. You could do this. And it's just like, I like doing the weights and stuff. It's nice and it's really satisfying. But I haven't got any, and that's it. I even asked the gym guy if I could rent something off him. I'm just like, just give me what you've got left. I don't care. And he's like, oh, we've only got 70-pound dumbbells. I was like, I can't lift that up. Okay, let's try something else. I can't do anything with that. So I don't know, but there is talk of it appear of opening up again. But anyway, back to it. I went riding like twice. I guess I've been riding twice, which to me is like nothing. I'm going to check. I'm actually, Giuliana, I'm going to open up Strava and verify because I don't like. Oh wow, I haven't even ridden this week. Like that's what it's come down to.
Oh my God.
Man, work is just so crazy, isn't it?
My boss, dude, you don't even know my boss is a nightmare.
Slave driver.
No, I went riding on the 26th. Oh, that was last Sunday. Yeah, I know. I was just kind of, I don't know, it was a bit like, I don't know, I wasn't feeling that great. I did that. I filmed that video with Remy and Miranda last week, and I was all stoked on bikes. And then I just went out and kind of went, all right, I just need to chill out, I think, for a bit. But I've found new motivation. Do you know what I have been doing, Giuliana? I've been doing lots of yoga this week and stretching.
Seriously? Wow. Good
Only because my mobility is that of a 77-year-old human being. Okay. So, and it's really bad. Like, that's it. So I just want to get stronger and like, as much as someone who's probably listening and hasn't been able to ride, like, what? Oh my God. Like, this is like, sometimes I can get a bit biked out because I do so much. So I think I'm into that kind of ebb and flow right now. But I don't know, it'll all get changed. It's also raining quite a lot. So this week I will go back on this and I will ride a ton because we can do what we like pretty much.
You're in BC.
I sure am. That's exactly where I am.
Squamish.
So how, like, do you go out even when the trails are muddy? Because that's a big no-no here, apparently. I mean, we just don't ride muddy trails around here.
Well, you choose the trails that are correct. So you'll go and ride something rocky. You won't go and ride like any of the super low mega trails or whatever, because then you trash them up.
Yep.
But that's just how it is. And you gotta, I mean, it is the Pacific Northwest technically. So it does rain a fair amount. We're on the coast. So you gotta go out sometimes. But I haven't really ridden at all in the rain for so long, even though I don't hate it. Like I have no problems. I've got like this really nice waterproof gear as well from Scott that I haven't used.
Then you have to wash your bike.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
I
Though.
hate
You just go. But if you do it the moment you finish, exactly. If you do it the moment you finish, then it just falls off and you get like a brand new bike.
The problem is if you just let it stand for like 2 weeks and you come back, it's like, no, what am I supposed to do with this?
That's exactly what I do. And I will often go to ride my bike and it's got red dirt like cemented on it.
Oh, because you guys have clay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty sandy dirt over here, so it's not so bad for to kill. This doesn't really kill trails like with you guys. But where have you ridden, Sinead?
I am in a very similar situation as you. I don't think I rode this week. I think I rode like a cross country trail last week, but I've been a little bit busy with work. I'm in the grocery industry. And we're selling some product. It's been a little bit crazy, and it's kind of
what
like
are people buying? Like you're literally the man on the inside. We could pivot this podcast away from mountain biking into grocery sales commentary.
Yes.
We'd probably make a lot of money on that.
Believe it or not, I like toilet paper is still selling like crazy.
That's so
really
nuts. I don't understand. Like,
where is it going? I don't know.
Down the toilet. But
Dish soap is hard to get. People are obviously buying like canned foods and food storage stuff. And we never sell Hamburger Helper, but this time around it's like, oh, we've sold all of our Hamburger Helper. Like, do you know what Hamburger Helper?
I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I was going to say.
You don't know what that is?
I do from South Park. That's where I know it from. Because it's got gluten in it.
Box of noodles and sauce that you would pair with your hamburger, and their logo is like an oven mitt.
It's a glove. It's a white glove.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How does it help the hamburgers? That's what I'm curious about.
It gives it a boost. I don't know.
It gives it a boost.
I have never heard of noodles and hamburger, but I mean, okay.
Stroganoff. I don't know, but work is crazy, and I'll get to the point where I'll keep working and then I'll stop and I'll be like, oh, it's like 7:30 and I just stopped working and I'm so beat. I don't even want to go to the trails. I don't know. I should. I've been lazy. I do need to do some yoga. Coincidentally, there has been an awesome yoga video walkthrough that was recently released on YouTube.
Yay.
By Sprocket Girl.
Dun, dun, dun.
Paul.
I was like,
what's going on? Where is this pivoting to?
I'm assuming he's going to say Giuliana, but he's not said it yet. I'm confused as to why he's taking so long. That was my actual live thoughts just then.
And it's like a half an hour complete walkthrough, right?
It was. So the one I just recently released, that was like 20 minutes, I think, something like that for, lower body, especially like for mountain bikers, you get tight quads or I get all.
Oh, yeah. Dude, let me tell you about, Giuliana, you don't even know about tight quads, okay? Until, if you think you've met someone that has the tight quads, you haven't, unfortunately, you haven't met me. No. Because I've had years of, riding dirt jump bikes, which makes your quads really tight. Then going to like riding for over an hour to get to an office, then immediately sitting down for 9 hours, then riding home and immediately sitting down. And then over the years, and then I went to a physio for the first time, and then just like, what? I'm like, yeah. So I'm in a pretty bad place, which is why I like going to the gym, because it's like it strengthens everything else and it makes everything a lot better. But right now I'm in a pretty pathetic spot. But yeah. So so I haven't checked out your yoga.
Yeah.
My yogi of choice is yoga with Adrian.
Oh yeah, she's great.
She's amazing, and she has that 20 minutes yoga for cyclists one that me and my housemate do quite regularly because it doesn't. Because what I like about that one, not to say, no one watch Giuliana's yoga.
Link
but
below.
What I like about that, and what I like about that one is that there's no kind of rubbish bits of yoga. Do you know what I mean? Like where they make you lie on your back and hold a cushion in between your legs for 10 minutes, and really all you want to do is stretch. Whereas this one is just stretching for 20 minutes, and like that's. I'd like to think that's what most people need, but do you think what's your official background with yoga? Have you just been doing it and now you're like, I'm going to share my passion, that kind of thing?
Well, I've been doing it on and off, I would say, for about 10 years, but I got certified as a teacher, I think like 4 years ago, and actually I did it more for myself, but I started teaching about a year ago, like once a week. It's pretty informal. Like I teach, people who work in the same workplaces as I do. So I'm not like teaching in an official studio, but yeah, for me, it's been something that I've been using, like kind of like cross training, to help me stay, strong and flexible, but also, it's really good for your balance if you're a biker too. But I totally hear you on that comment about like, I think especially if it's, targeted towards a specific audience, like in this case, mountain bikers, I think you kind of have to like find the right balance between it being, yoga versus like, what's the word? Kind of like touchy feely, too much, like, people just want to like get down to it and stretch and maybe like do a little bit of like core work and then be done with it. And I think that's kind of what I'm trying to go with my yoga for mountain biker videos. Like, I don't want to like get too, esoteric about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much about kind of the spiritual side of yoga. It's just like, okay, like for example, Shane, you'll be doing a video, and then like 10 minutes in, they'll be like, okay, now you do the tree pose, which is where you stand on one leg and bring your leg on the inside of your thigh, which is impossible for a lot of people. And they're just like, okay, here we go, and tree pose. And you're like, why do I need like? And then there's
Can you not do that one?
No, are you kidding? Like, I can barely bring my leg to the inside of. Did you see that strain? That was me trying to put my foot on the inside of my thigh.
Like just a tiny.
I'd be like shrub pose. Small shrubbery pose.
Shrub pose.
Giuliana, we are going to get more into you and your channel and what you're all about.
Sure.
After we move on to our next segment, last week's comments. But before last week's comments, we promised that we are selling out this week. We are going to roll an advert. How about that? Let's take a break.
Freaking, let's cash in right now.
Make some money.
It's last week's comments.
Brilliant.
But yeah, jumping back into last week's comments. Last week we had Bobo, biking with Bobo on, and
We sure did.
I was a little bit worried about that one because we knew that he was not going to be safe for work. He was not going to be safe for kids. We wanted to be a family friendly podcast, but I don't think we had any negative feedback. Did you?
No one said anything.
We
no one
need
said
to
anything bad.
Swear more? I don't know.
What, people said we need to swear more. That was the feedback, that we're not.
Really?
No. There were a lot of comments about, Bobo's awesome. He should replace Shane. I don't know, those jerks. But
Oh man.
Oh really? I dodged a bullet then. I could have sworn they'd be like, get rid of that other guy.
well, okay, so I'm going to jump right in. We don't want to dwell too much on all those comments, but Chump MTB, our friend Brian, he said, "Yes, Paul, my name is Brian. Thanks for remembering."
Nailed it.
Shane, I thought we had something special. Okay, so I'm horrible with names. I can remember channel names, and if I see you in person, you get a channel name. I'm sorry, I'm not going to remember your real name unless I have specifically gone out of my way to spell your name wrong 3 times and then get it right. So, Giuliana, I will forever know how to spell your name.
Oh my God. This is like the 5th time you've apologized since we've been on the thing.
Feel freaking
Shane,
horrible
take it
about
easy. You're too worried about everything.
Okay, back to
Anyway, and then do you know what? Our favorite group,
well,
Trinity Emergency Trauma Center.
Hold up. He actually
he's
said,
still doing it?
yeah,
Okay.
he said, on a serious note, have you checked in with your nurses? I don't remember the name of the nurses, but the group that listens to every show. I hope they're doing okay and staying healthy. Thank you all for your heroic work. So I think we should have that shout out for the Trinity Emergency Trauma Center.
Amazing.
Do you think they listen to the Bobo on full blast?
Hopefully.
On the hospital floor.
Maybe it'll chill people out a bit. Just
F-word.
like hearing inane stuff. Hey, have you guys been doing the making noise at 7 p.m. outside your house?
Yes, at 8.
Oh, at 8 o'clock down there.
Yeah,
Okay.
people howl like coyotes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always just
You
thinking
didn't know?
like,
You just thought it was
Shane.
coyotes.
a bunch of dogs or something.
Shane, how could you? You heartless individual.
My kids are
Yeah,
making noise all the time.
Frontline workers are putting their lives, and you're like, oh, honey, what's that? Oh, I don't know, Shane.
That's exactly how we sound. Seriously, really big shout out to them. They are the heroes in this.
Sure, they're killing it. But let me tell you about this amazing meme that I saw. I've never seen a meme more relatable to my life than this one, which is that someone says oh yeah, like I really support it, the health workers thing, but it seems to be a bit of a pissing contest now with my neighbors. It started with saucepans, then it became air horns, and now it's fireworks or something like that. And then that was on the meme, and literally my neighbors went saucepan, air horns. So me and my housemate are like, when are the fireworks going to start? Any day. Oh, it's so funny. I live next to the most not the most redneck people, but I mean, they had a boat in their garage for the longest time that didn't work. So like, I think that gives
That's
it
a
some
sign.
respect.
Yeah.
And he will stand outside his garage revving his motorbike and just
Oh yeah,
for nothing. Oh, you were there? No, that's
I
when
was
he was
there. Well,
that was when he was trying to start one of the boat engines, and Giuliana, this boat engine didn't work, but he was trying to sell the boat. I guess he was trying to get this boat engine to start for an hour, and like it was pull starting it. And I was recording the podcast, like, this has been going on for ages. And I went outside and I'm like, look, Doc, can you chill out? I'm trying to do something in here. And you've been doing this for like a week, every night. Anyway, that's what it's like.
Okay.
They could be worse. They could be worse. They could be worse.
Oh, man.
What were we even talking about? This is straight back. We're straight back.
We are in last
We're
week's
digressing, huh?
Okay. Yeah, this is how it works, Giuliana. I hope you didn't have high expectations, because this is really how this rolls.
Oh, all good.
Well, Giuliana, would you like to read the last comment by Mangy Squirrel?
I would. Mangy Squirrel 4 said, seriously, this is the only reason I'm watching this. All my parks are closed. All my trails are shut. Totally hear you.
Terrible.
That's a good point. So this whole like quarantine lockdown, have you seen a huge spike in YouTube views, Giuliana?
Not well. It's a little hard to say because I released that kind of that stop motion video a while or 2 weeks ago, and so people seem to really like that. So I'm not sure if that had to do with the fact that people were at home or just people liked it. But have you?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I've been so out of it. I haven't been watching YouTube. I haven't been making YouTube.
Yeah.
You what?
It just comes down to being so.
You haven't been watching my videos, Shane?
I was on a long drive. I had your video playing.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. You're all good.
Hit play, get you that ad revenue. But I don't know. Like, is this the best time right now to be putting out YouTube videos?
Well, let me give my insight. It doesn't. I don't think it made that much of a difference. I personally have seen like a pretty standard uplift in people watching my videos, to be honest. And as you kind of rightly point out, Giuliana, is that your stop motion video was just a good video, and then more people watched it, and that's it, really. So many people email and ask me like, "Oh, what did you do with this? Or what did you do with that?" And it's like, at the end of the day, make a good video, people will watch it. Like I had this. It's really not that simple. Make a good thumbnail, make a good video, like, and then that's it, really. And I like a perfect example of this is I was watching like some French videos of mine because like a family member went to Morsey, and I was like, oh, I wonder what my voice. And there were these two videos that were basically the same, and one got like double the views of the other one. And I was like, what? Why? Like, it's basically the same video. And the difference was that I didn't do a voiceover and I didn't put as much effort into this other video. And it was really just like me just going down these trails. I wasn't really talking. I was just going down them. And then the other one like had a full story and like had context and everything.
That's
and
awesome.
It wasn't that different. And it was just like, I was like, oh yeah, of course. I'm just like there in my living room talking to myself, like, obviously. Why would you expect the other one to get good views? It's not that good a video. And that's really it at the end of the day, is that if you cannot keep attention and you're losing people as the video goes along, then no one's going to watch it. It's like, it's not some conspiracy. People love conspiracies and they love to blame it on
a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they love this away for free though, Paul.
Yeah, it's fine.
You gotta hold this advice for your Patreon crew.
No, I did say I was going to do that. As next week is where I'm going to do it. I've been busy with this bike build video that's coming out.
So busy.
Yeah, so shut up.
10 minutes ago, I've just been so lazy. I haven't been doing anything. I haven't been physical stuff. I've been doing other things.
I did yoga. Come on, it's awesome.
Yeah, but only 20 minutes. That's nothing to write home about. Like, I'm kind of quite hard on myself. And also, Giuliana, translate to being hard on everyone else that's around me.
I guess.
And Shane's had full force of that straight in the face. But like, I treat myself way worse than any of my friends. Like, it's so funny. Like my housemate Dan, who is probably definitely listening to this because he's only like there. he uses jar sauces all the time. Like tomato jar sauces.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, Dan, why not try and make your own sauce? And he's like, nope. And then I'll like send him videos of like, Dan, look at this guy. He literally made a video about why jar sauces are so bad and shows you how easy it is to make not jar sauces. And he's like, got another jar sauce.
Oh, like Prego or Ragu?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that stuff's fun.
Because what are you talking about? Do you know how much sugar's in there, Shane?
Tons.
There's so much.
You're gonna put it on pasta, and pasta is full of sugar anyway.
Oh no, my kids are running around all night and they have so much energy. They won't get. I don't understand.
But aren't we all hardest on ourselves? Like, do you know anyone who's like super lax on themselves, but like
Dan.
Yeah, you do. Okay. But like super mean to other people.
But super mean to other people. I don't know. There's probably like, I mean, I always know that the way we treat others is really how we treat ourselves, and we just and that's just it. Like if someone's like mean about someone else, it means that they're not happy with themselves. Like that's completely it. Which is why I'm very vocal about being harsh on myself, because that's just how it is. But yeah. What were we even talking about?
I don't know.
We were talking about videos, but Giuliana, you put out a video every Tuesday, is that right?
Yeah. Well, I try to do every week. The last couple of months, I think I did like one every 3 weeks or something like that, one every month. But it's mainly because like I haven't been out on the trails for such a long time, and it's like hard to come up with something fun and interesting that has a great story that people want to watch. Like that, the stop motion video was kind of a cool, like one-off idea, but like.
Did that take forever to film?
It wasn't that bad. Actually, like we had to get the hang of the app. So there's an app you can download for stop motion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I was like, at first I was like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. But the app was amazing. So you just download it to your phone, and then we took my phone and like attached it to the ceiling and just left it up there. And then with the app, you can connect to another phone, which you then use as like the camera. So basically on that phone, you see what the ceiling phone sees. So you never have to touch the ceiling phone. And then you can just like take a picture from the phone in your hands. And then you just kind of, move yourself around, etc. So it took maybe 12 hours over like 3 days or something like that to do everything.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Now you will see stop motion videos on both Paul's and mine's channel coming out right now.
No way.
No, come on, bring it. I want to see it.
It's an easy app.
I don't have the patience to do that. There's no way.
other than that, have you been crazy busy? Is your work crazy? What do you do?
What'd you do? What'd you do for a job?
I am a research scientist at the University of Colorado in Boulder. That's my main job that I do like full time.
And what do you research?
Well, I write documentation for basically, how should I explain this? I write documentation for data sets that NASA publishes in the glaciological realm. So NASA, has scientists that go out and like measure, I don't know, for instance, ice thickness in Antarctica, and then they send the data to our data center, and I write the documentation. That's one of the things I do. I like curated documentation that goes along with these data sets.
Okay, so they'll go out, complete various experiments, and they'll go, we found this, and they'll send it to you, and you put it into an actual paper, I guess.
Well, I mean, they still publish like the scientific papers. We just like archive all the data so that if someone like you were super interested in, ice thickness in Antarctica, you could come to our log yourself into our center and download the data for free with the documentation, so you knew what you were actually downloading.
I see.
I think we know who's the smartest person in this podcast right now, though.
Yeah, that's pretty big. You could just drop it. It's like
music.
Most people will listen to blah 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 blah. NASA.
Exactly.
Blah, 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 blah.
I need to drop that one in there.
That's what I heard. I was like glazed over
blah
for a
blah
little
blah
bit.
blah blah. NASA.
NASA.
Blah 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 blah.
No offense to you, Giuliana, but
I think we know who the stupidest person is in this chat. So
I'm fine with that.
I'm not looking at anyone's video right now.
Has it kept you really busy?
Yeah,
You're
it's
still
been pretty
working?
busy. Yeah, working from home full time. Yeah, but I'm pretty lucky, that my job is pretty easy to do online. So it's been nice for sure.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
So fantastic. Well, we will get to know more about you after this commercial break. Should we take another one?
Are we? Hold on. Whoa, hold on, you money grabbing son
I'm
of a.
just thinking.
What? Why? You literally like? God, we could just put an advert every 5
just
minutes.
do
Like,
one.
just figure.
It's
No,
been
we're doing.
fun.
And we did last week's comments.
Yeah,
No,
you
now we've
said
got to
one
have like the
before
main
and after.
discussion.
You said
Yeah, but we're not going to do
Yeah.
Joe. No, before Jerry of the Week is what I meant.
Oh, well, I was.
we're gonna
getting
carry on.
to- Okay, let's carry on. Well, okay.
A roll. A
Let's,
roll.
let's keep going. I want to know more about Sprocket Girl.
Yeah.
When did you start? Why did you start? What are your main goals with this channel?
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Okay. Yeah, I started it about a year and a half ago. I'd been writing for about a year and a half at that point, and I noticed that. So here in Colorado, we have a decent amount of female writers. I mean, there are a lot of female writers out on the trails.
Yeah.
But there aren't a lot of female YouTubers who are focused on mountain biking. Like there's a handful. And I felt like, well, you know what, that could be a niche. And also the whole point of this channel for me, at least, is to bring mountain biking closer to the people. Like I don't consider myself like a super crazy rider. I'm not like the best rider out there, but I love mountain biking and I like challenging myself and I like trying new stuff and just being out in nature. And I feel like if I can do that, if I can get on a mountain bike and like progress to the point where like last year I participated in an enduro race for the first time. And if I can do that, then so can you, whoever is watching this, like guy or girl. But yeah, I kind of just want to be like a person that people can relate to and that inspires other people to maybe try mountain biking if they've, thought about maybe doing it, but weren't sure that they could, or they were scared about it or something like that. So maybe if they see me, they're like, oh, that girl can do it. So you know what? I should try it too.
So
Do
what
you get a
about
lot of
why?
women watching?
Oh, you gazumper of a question.
What?
Wait, can we take turns? Because this is really always hard to do because we're not there in person.
Do it.
Shane, let's take turns. Okay, Giuliana,
Yes.
why a YouTube channel? Like, why?
That's a good question.
Because you talked about like, what you'd like to be perceived as on your YouTube channel, but what made you actually start it and do your first video?
That is a really good question. You mean as opposed to like just going out and proclaiming it to the masses?
Yeah. So, for example, I started my YouTube channel because I was in charge of video at Pink Bike, and I didn't really know how to make videos. So I was like, okay, I need a place to actually make it, and I was like, that's how I'm going to learn to make videos.
Yeah,
and that's why I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think for me, it was in part just because I wanted to learn, like you said, I wanted to learn how to edit videos and like how to be more comfortable in front of the camera. That was a really difficult one in the beginning. But also,
do you not like public speaking? Are you kind of quite introverted? Is that why?
Yeah, I'm a pretty like shy, introverted person.
Okay, here we go. Now we're peeling back the layers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was hard to like, even if there was no one literally watching me except my fiance and maybe his brother who was helping out, it was hard for me to be like in front of camera and like just be myself. Or actually, the thing is, it wasn't just myself. It was like a little bit of an amped up version of myself, because obviously like you always come across as a little bit less amped up over camera. So I had to like really amp it up much more than I was comfortable with. And I think if you go back and like look at some of my older videos, you can see like the older ones, I'm just kind of like, oh, hey, it's me, Sprocket Girl. Whereas, whereas now it's like, I guess, hey guys, it's me.
Yeah, because I guess like having the term Sprocket Girl is very kind of synonymous almost with a superhero, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're going for.
You wouldn't have a superhero going like, hey everyone, I'm here to save the day. Hope everyone's okay, guys. Yeah. No, I hear you. I like that, like pushing yourself. Like, I mean, for me, I'm pretty like, I do care what people think, but there've been many occasions where I just go like, no. So like, I've always been kind of quite like the confident person that does the talent shows when they were a kid and everything. Right. So for me, it was like no big deal. It was funny because I used to film, some of the biggest riders in the world, and they couldn't talk to a camera for toffee. And there I was behind them going like, this is so easy. Like, what's wrong with you? So, but I can fully appreciate like how hard it is to pick up a camera, look at the lens, not the screen, and just kind of start going for it.
Yeah. And I'm still learning that. I mean, I'm still not at the point where I'm like, when I watch it myself, I'm still like, yeah, I could be a little bit more like excited, even though I felt super excited in the moment, but it just doesn't always quite come across. But
then you don't have to force it. Like the secret to YouTube is just putting the you, I guess, in YouTube, if I can be cheesy like that. It's like no one can do you better than yourself. So like if that's just how you are, it's better to be like that, because there's a bunch of people that really put it on and really go over the top, and it's just so like dramatic and all that, and then you meet them in real life and everyone's like, okay,
bummer. Yeah. No, I think it's like finding the right balance between, like you said, being yourself and kind of, just letting your personality shine through the camera, but also
there you go.
You want to tell a story, you want to make it interesting, you want to make it like get people's attention a little bit, and you can't do that by just being like, oh hey, how's it going?
We all kind of put it on just a tiny bit. Just a tiny.
No, you don't, Shane. You are exactly the same on your videos as you are in real life.
I suppose so. I'm more inappropriate in real life than I am in my videos, but
probably. But then who? Then who isn't? But then who isn't? Yeah, exactly. But whereas me, Giuliana, if people met me, and they have done, like I actually met this couple the other day when I was filming with Remy and Miranda, and like, I'm so stressed and I'm very focused, and I'm completely about like having the blinkers on and getting the task done. And I have to steamroll through everything. And that's just how it is. Yeah. So if people meet me while I'm making a video, as they have done, I'm just like, yeah, hey, great. Yeah, lovely to meet you. Yeah. Oh, splendid. You watch my channel? Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm like, I need to do this. And that's all I want to do. And that's just how it is. And it's the same with like Shane. Like I've done a bunch of videos with Shane. And I'm just like, come on, like, just because I get so stressed because I just want it to be the best it can be. I am all in on every single video that I'm making. And if people aren't like as passionate as I am, which is probably my biggest downfall, actually, especially when I was like in charge of video, is like, we have to do it like this. We have to do it like this. And if people aren't on board, then it's like impossible. But
you're just going to piss everyone off, and then like they won't want to collaborate with you anymore. Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm amazed that Shane is. How many videos have you done with me now, Shane? 3? Probably more.
So. It's been fun, but like I think our last video, RC, was like,
Oh, he left.
I'm taking off.
Yeah, he just left before like the main bit.
I think he felt
Because-
responsible for Joseph and his crank falling off, so he was taking care of him.
How could, you can't
That's
be?
what he said.
Are you serious? You can't.
because he told Joseph he was like, "Oh, it's not as bad as Highline," and then he
But
felt
that doesn't-
super responsible.
That doesn't make a crank fall off, does it? Poor
But
bike maintenance makes a crank fall off. Like that's
Yeah.
what.
But that's what I'm thinking is I think the stress got to RC and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Joseph down the mountain and get away from this shit." So,
Yeah, there you go.
okay, so
Yeah.
you talk about you being one female YouTuber in a handful, and when I think of that handful, I mean, most of them, I would say, okay, like Dusty Betty comes top of mind, and her channel is very female centric, but I think it involves her husband quite a bit. Like some videos are just him.
Oh yeah, you'll be watching it, and like, I mean, Tess has
then-
probably got lots going on.
Yeah.
And then Steve's like, "Oh, I'll help out with the video," but
Yeah.
it's like halfway through the video, it's like, "Oh, this is just Steve. It's not Tess."
Yeah,
Like,
and then there's Mo and Hannah Awesome, which it's kind of both of them. Sid and Mackie, which is both of them. I think maybe,
Yuka.
okay, isn't
Yeah,
that
Fangirl Yuka. Yeah.
probably she's a number. So there's Yuka, there's Donna Ellsworth, and you.
Yeah.
I would say maybe those are the only three that come top of mind that are full women focused.
Yeah. There's
So why do you think that is? I know.
That's a really good question. And I mean, that's another reason why I created this channel is like, there aren't that many people, or there aren't that many girls out there or women out there who are doing YouTube channels. And what is the reason for that? I think a lot of times, let me rephrase that. I think it's just like intimidating, I would say, to think about
Oh, yeah,
putting
sure.
yourself out there. And that can go for guys too, but like I think it's just maybe because the mountain biking industry is more tipped towards the male riders and YouTube, I think it's more guys that tend to like comment on stuff and watch stuff and, be stoked about YouTube videos about mountain biking. I think it's just really an intimidating thought to like film yourself and then talk, and like everyone can see you talking and the way you look and blah, blah, blah. And then to put that out there for everyone to see, I could imagine that that's maybe not something that everyone would want to do. And
So what
especially for females. Yeah.
What about your viewership? Are you getting a lot of women watching?
Yeah, I have like, I think it's about a 30%. So 70 male, 30% female viewership. Obviously,
Yeah.
I would like it to tip more into like 50-50 or something like that. But I just think that there's like the majority of people that comment on my videos are not necessarily women.
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree with you. I mean, I put up an Instagram post today asking
I was
for
going to
questions.
ask. Yeah.
And it literally, the question box was ladies, blah, 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 blah. Guys responded. I'm like,
Oh,
this isn't for you. Like, I'm not asking for your opinion. You have plenty of time to share your opinion, but, and now is the time. But I
Yeah.
mean, so my follow-up question is what female specific content are you making? So, I mean, I'm looking on your, and if you'd like a couple of YouTube chips that we can put on this
Yeah.
podcast, you completely can say yes, and then I'll get in. But I'd like you to invite me to do it first before I kind of put it on you.
Like a vampire.
would you like to?
Like a vampire?
You
What are
have
you
to be.
talking
You
about?
have to be invited in.
Oh God.
Oh, into
Okay.
the house. Oh,
Don't worry,
God.
Juliana. I've been ripped
That
apart on
is
this podcast.
Freaking weird. That's so weird. I guess it's not
Yeah.
weird, but have you been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer lately or something?
Or
Twilight,
Twilight.
man.
Oh my God.
Oh no! Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
No, and I won't. That's a very scary film title.
Oh,
Is it a film title?
It's a comedy, and it's on.
Oh, it's a
Hulu.
comedy. Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
made
don't, we
by
didn't have Hulu.
Jermaine Clements.
Hold on. Off
okay.
topic.
Juliana,
Okay,
I will say
yeah.
I've been torn apart before with the
Okay.
YouTube thing, but I learned so much. I will say.
Okay.
So-
Yeah,
I'm-
so-
I am.
Pick it in.
I can be brutal, but I would never be so rude. So, I mean, looking at your videos, just top line, I see like, going from rider to racer and cornering practice and review of pads. Like there's nothing that's like, hey, women, watch my videos. It's like that's just how it is. So I'd say, from that top line, it's like, people can see that you're a lady and you're doing mountain biking. Sometimes it's quite tricky to see that from the thumbnail. But like, I think that's the difference. It's like, shout at your audience because that's who you want to come and talk to you. So like, what do you have any ideas for, female specific videos? Is that how you're going to reach and promote women's cycling? Like, what's the plan?
What's the plan? I mean,
which is the most intimidating question. I was trying to stay away from saying that because I was like, oh, plan. Oh, no. Like, that's what people say to me. I'm like, oh, I have no idea.
No, I think you make a good point because like, that's something that I've been thinking about for, basically ever since I started this channel. And like, how do you tailor it towards women without being like, condescending or putting someone in a box? Where did Sheyn go?
Shane's gone. Don't worry about him. Right. He'll come back. We'll add him in.
So like without narrowing it down too much and like, putting people in a box and being like, this is only tailored towards women who have never ridden before and don't know how to handle a bike. So I've still kind of, I haven't found a way to tailor it just towards women. And I think that's a valid question that you pose. So what I've been trying to do is to like, present the channel as, hey, I'm a woman, I can do this. If you watch my videos, I hope to inspire you, woman, but also a guy, if you're watching it, to do the same thing. I don't think I'm answering your question very well.
Do you feel there's perhaps some intrepidation of approaching that? Because like, for example, just then you say like, as a woman, and then you go, oh, guys as well. Like, why does it have to be for guys? So like, here's the thing about YouTube is that
it doesn't.
It's all about niches, really. If you want to go off to women and women only, just talk to women and women only. Like that's.
I think that for me, it's like, I try to do that in my videos. Like I always say, hey, this is this channel is about inspiring women to try challenging themselves on a mountain bike. That's my, like, more or less my little motto that I say in the beginning. But what I've been kind of steering away from is like making the topic of the video. So like you listed a couple of topics like cornering or sessioning or whatever it is, making it too women specific. But because for me, all of these things are things that women could do. Like there's no difference between something that a woman could do or a guy could do. Anyone could do cornering or sessioning or like racing or anything like that. So to me, like I'm doing all these things. And so I want to present it to my audience, which, should be women. That's kind of what I'm going for. But I don't want to be like, I don't want to be in the title, just like, this is only for women. How do women get into racing? How do women corner? How do women session on a bike? Things like that. So I kind of get where you're going. I haven't been very tailored towards women in like how I present the videos. But within the video, I try to kind of address that. So I don't know if that's kind of what you're seeing on my channel or not seeing on my channel when you kind of go look at it for the first time. I mean, not that you're looking at it for the first time, but like.
Oh no, I've watched the videos. I watched every video. Like it's like people think that, oh, how can you have time? It's like I've made time because it's my career and it's everything to me. So I have to know everything that's going on. So, and I think that's the thing. It's like a lot of the time it's like, there's a reason that your thumbnail and your title will be shown like hundreds of thousands of times, but your video will only get 1,000 views. And that's because there's been 999,000 times where people saw your video and they weren't interested. And I think that's it. But then like, so what videos do you enjoy watching, Giuliana? What are your favorite mountain bike videos?
That's a great question. I like videos.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I like videos that are relatable to me, like where I can watch it and be like, hey, I could do that. Like I could do that trick, or I could learn how to service my bike in that way. Where it's like an achievable goal. Like usually I watch something because I want to learn something like a skill, or I want to learn how to service my bike or something like that. But it has to be an attainable goal for me. Like if I watch someone do like Red Bull Rampage, it's cool. It's fun to watch. It's amazing how, what people can do, but I don't connect with that because I'm like, I'm never going to do that. I want to watch something where I'm like, wow, I could do that too. If I went out with my bike and, tried it. So I think that's kind of what I'm going for with my channel too, is the like, it speaks maybe a little bit more to beginner riders or, intermediate to advanced riders. But I'm trying to be like that person where if someone watches it, they can be like, oh, I could just go dust off my bike and try that too. And that could be super fun. And I could really get into mountain biking.
Mm-hmm.
So the bandwidth in my neighborhood got cut short there for a minute. So I missed a little bit of that. But I guess
it was just kind of really about
thumbnails and being targeted to women.
And being open, like not being afraid. Because just judging from that interaction, I kind of got the feeling that perhaps there was some nervousness about only making videos for women. And I think there's nothing wrong. Like that's exactly what's needed. Like
I picked up a little bit on that. So my question is, if you're making these videos for girls and women, why not try to make it just for them instead of try to grab everybody and then throw in a women girls message?
Yeah, and Giuliana did answer that.
Oh, okay.
No, but you did miss it. Yeah,
I think that's like I don't mind that you're bringing this up at all, because I think it's a really valid point, and it's something that like has been difficult for me to find the right balance, because I think you're right. It's totally fine and probably a good idea to tailor it towards just one category, women or female riders, let's say. But the tricky part for me is to like still provide videos that are not like, this is a video on how to session this tricky part for women, because like anyone could session that. Yeah. But maybe you guys have some tips on how to like, get to that point.
Well,
I can't possibly comment because I do talk a lot with. I have a couple of on the feminist side friends, and I try and learn and develop myself as a person quite a lot. So I actually reached out to Shane's wife and asked her for this, because I think this is the thing. Like, I've been involved in conversations like when I used to work at Pink Bike, and there were conversations about, women's content. I just felt uncomfortable because, I haven't been in a situation. So like, there's the like, but hold on, let me just catch up with my big words in my big brain up here. So like Sid, for example, she kind of gets upset when people come up to her and say, oh, how did Mackie get you into mountain biking? Mm-hmm. Assuming that she rides because of her boyfriend. Right. Which is, that's not the case. And like, those are things that, I will, never experience. And I think it's, it's not great to, if I was in that situation, obviously I wouldn't enjoy it. But it's kind of hard to put myself into that position, which is why I asked Shane's wife, because the secret producer on this show. So like, for example, so talking about, okay, let's look at it like, so Julia, have there been times when you've been out on the trail and you've experienced things like that where people are like, oh, like when did your fiance get you into mountain biking, and kind of those kind of assumptions?
I actually have not experienced that kind of comment. I have experienced maybe like, if I'm riding behind a guy who's riding a little slower and I'm like, hey, I'm just coming up, mind if I pass? And like, they'll kind of maybe not want you to pass, or just like try and speed up or something. But that's like very rare. I have to say, so far I have not had a lot of negative experiences being a female rider, but that's here in Colorado. I don't know what it's like in other places.
No, I think you'd probably find that in a lot of other places. The classic like, oh, let me pass. Oh, there's no way, you're a girl. I'm like, oh, no way.
You've got to yell it as low as you can.
Hey, can I
pass? Perfect.
Yeah, but I have to say, so far, like people have been, like guys and women have been very cordial and like, friendly on the trails and stuff like that. So I don't have any like specific examples of that, but I've heard of women who have, and who really don't like it, understandably.
So I don't know, like that would be, it's as you said, like it would be almost backwards to do the thing where it's like, oh, how to corner for women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that would be completely against it. So I guess
I
it's
don't
kind
know.
of tricky to target. What do you think? What?
I think the flip side of that is just the one that I'm thinking about. Tess at Dusty
Mm-hmm.
Betty, she'll straight up put writing Captain Ahab like a girl, and she'll
That's
own
right.
it. And
yes.
that drew me in.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume, it would draw girls in, but it drew me in because I wanted to know, like, yeah, when I write it, I might be writing it with a different mindset. And if I was to take my wife there, like, how would she see it in that
Mm-hmm.
way?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think you would still bring in people that are interested in that, but people like to see perspectives that aren't their own, but then they also like to see ones that might be theirs too. So there's that flip side to that coin.
That's true. And Dusty Betty has definitely, she had a video, I think it was titled something like how to get your girlfriend into mountain biking. And I think that was one of her most popular videos on her channel, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought that was a really good idea to do that because it speaks to the larger audience, which is the guys, but it's about the women. And, but yeah, I think like having ideas like that about how you could tailor it towards the females, but not like compartmentalize.
But then would you want to watch that? Would you want to watch something like that?
Well, personally, I mean, I watched it because I like her videos and I was interested in what was in the video. But since I'm already a mountain biker, I wouldn't necessarily watch it from that perspective. Like, since I'm not trying to get someone else into mountain biking, I probably wouldn't have watched it. But I could see how, like, a lot of guys who would love to have their female partners ride with them would be totally into that. But then again, like maybe you're not drawing the female audience in, you're drawing the male audience in.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just kind of like guessing.
No, I think you're right. I'd completely agree with what you're saying. I mean, I come from, around here, there's a very strong female contingent and, there's so many female mountain bikers. Like most of the times I actually feel like I see more women on mountain bike trails than men at times. And it's very much like the community aspect that they do it for, and they kind of like pushing each other and that kind of camaraderie. And I think something like that would be quite, there's not really much that's speaking to that is the kind of, as you say, Shane, you said let's, ride it like a girl, like, or the, girls who shred, like all that kind of mantra, like that's very empowering. And I think that from how I see it, I think that would be a very positive thing and encourage a lot more women mountain biking.
So, but my question is like, ultimately, are there enough, I mean, there don't seem to be as many female YouTube watchers as men. So is it just a question of like, I'm not reaching those female watchers who maybe are watching something totally different in a different category? Or
okay, good question.
Or are there just not enough people or not enough women on YouTube to watch these videos?
I think there are definitely, I don't think it's a thing about there not being women on YouTube to watch videos, because there's plenty of, pretty much every human on the planet watches YouTube videos, right?
Right.
So, but I think it's about making something that they would want to watch, I think.
Right.
And I think that, maybe they don't watch YouTube videos because there might be a reason. And it's just trying to figure out what that reason is. Like, it's a bit tricky because I don't know.
A quick Google search tells me 62% of YouTube users are male.
Okay.
So if you're getting 70, like that's, I don't know.
I guess
That's
it's pretty close,
close,
especially in man biking, that, as you say, is a very dominating thing. I mean, I would look at the number of people rather than the percentage of your audience. Look at actually the number of, the audience that you're looking to target. Like that's a very empowering thing. If you've got 1,000 women watching your videos, do you know what I mean? Like, this thing we always used to do in media sales, we'd be like, imagine 1,000 people stood outside this building right now. How would that look?
That's crazy.
It's quite a lot of people, actually. So that's like That's like the thing. I mean, I guess maybe I can, I'd like to explore my own thing actually. So did you see a video that I did where I went riding with some girls around Squamish and we went session some gnarly features, and my friend Annie actually crashed and smashed up her collarbone?
I did not see that. Oh my God.
a while ago.
Okay. So, right. So that was like, that's like almost the perfect example is like, that was a very female empowering focused video. Like, how did I miss you? Like that's the thing. Like maybe there was something else that could have been done that, you know, drew that interest in, because I was pretty sure that I was kind of focused. And this is why I was kind of trying to get out of you, like,
right.
You know, what are you interested in? Like, what videos do you watch? Because that's the most important thing. Is like, if you make a video and you don't even want to watch it yourself, then what's the point of making that video?
Right.
Like, I think it's very important. Yeah, girls show me how to ride gnarly rock slabs. Like, they can't get more female empowering than that.
I'm gonna have
half
to
of that
watch
could be just we don't know those trails and they're not relatable.
But I don't think it's ever about the not knowing the trails. I don't think that's.
I enjoy watching videos that are on my trails more than I enjoy watching others that aren't.
That's a good point, actually. I do watch trails or videos of trails that I know or want to ride.
Yeah, unfortunately,
off point.
No, unfortunately, my proportion of female audience was 0.5% on that video. So I once again missed the mark. So.
I think what I need to do is like go out to the female community. Like for instance, here in Colorado, I know a lot of female riders, and like do a poll on what would you watch on YouTube that's mountain bike related? Like what would draw you in, and you know, what kind of content would you want to spend your time watching on YouTube, and just gather some information on that, and then come back and like tailor my videos to that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Sometimes it's a bit tricky because people don't know what they want to watch on YouTube, and that's why more views come from thumbnails and titles rather than searches. But I mean, I would go to that community and cover it. Like that'd be really interesting. Like, oh, this is what we're doing. These are our rides. You know, this is the women's weekly ride. I'm going to film this video, and like that's the story. Like, I don't know. There's just lots of things. But I mean, I think that's a very important question is like, if you've got a channel that's, you know, trying to encourage women to ride, it's like, how are you achieving that goal?
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate question of this channel. It's a good point. Yeah.
Which is, so I think like, I mean, if I can, you know, give you something relatable, it's like my channel is always about me getting better. And if I'm putting out videos that aren't me getting better, then I'm not achieving my goal on my channel. So then that always brings me back to like, okay, how can I achieve this better?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely had like, you know, viewers that are female who have commented and been like, oh, this is really cool to watch. You sessioned this. I think I could like imagine myself trying to do this as well. And that's like totally what I'm going for. But I think the main problem for me is also just like getting more female viewers, even, you know, knowing about my channel. I think that's a huge thing. People just don't know this channel either.
But looking at the numbers, if 30% of your viewers, let's just say 30% of your subscribers are female, that's 400 women. That's 399 more women than I've got.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you've got 400 women out the door watching your videos, that's significant.
Maybe I should just ask them what they want to see.
Seriously, I don't. But like, if you look at your thumbnails, like the one, your bike check, your Giuliana Rubion versus 2016 Specialized Stumpy, like that thumbnail doesn't have bikes in it. It has you in it. So I think there are a lot of females that might be seeing you in that thumbnail, your face, and clicking on you versus the content. I don't know. Like, how many views does that one have? I felt like that one was not very popular. Okay. It's got 1,600 views. I mean, yeah, you're going to get a lot of views on your knee pad reviews because people want to know about the knee pads, but your core audience is going to want to know about you.
So another question, how much do you think that it has to do with you or your personality and how relatable you are, or how like, you know, interesting you are to follow for people?
Oh yeah, it's a huge part of it. Arguably
80,
everything. Yeah. And I can hear intrepidation in your voice. Like, Giuliana, you're probably a fantastic person. Like, most people are fantastic people. And if they're not, then they're elsewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So like there is a lot of confidence. Do you know, he might be listening to this. I don't know what his daily thing is, but I actually asked this of Brian, BKXC, when I went down. No. So if you go back to his early videos, and I brought this up with him, and I asked him straight up, and he actually said, "No, I haven't changed." And then in recent videos, he's like, "Oh, I was watching my old videos, and I used to be so different." So like in his first videos, he would sit here like this and go, "I have had all my bikes stolen. It's terrible. Oh my god!" And now he's like, "Hey guys, yeah, Brian here. Like, oh god, I don't care about anything. Like, blah blah blah." And it's because he's become more comfortable as time has gone on, and a lot of people have accepted him, and that is where most confidence comes from, right? It's being accepted by other human beings. Like that's how we are. So, and I think that's it. And it really is just reps. And as he said, it's just like just doing it more and more. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you are. And like at the end of the day, like if you said on paper, Brian Kennedy, he's IT person that works on a website called Pots and Pans. He puts his thumbs on the handlebars when he goes mountain biking. Who's going to watch videos about this guy? Like, if you told me, person who worked at Pink Bike many years ago, I'd be like, you can get out. Like, there's no way that people are going to watch this. And then, lo and behold, hundreds of thousands of people have clicked subscribe on his YouTube channel.
Because there are people just like him that relate to him. I mean, I'll watch a 15-minute video of him traveling across the country with his girlfriend with zero mountain biking in it.
I know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'll watch him like cook something in the oven. It's
so
crazy.
There are people out there. There are nerd women out there just like you. Scientist women.
Yes.
Scientist women that want to know you.
Exactly. Yeah. But people will just buy into you after a while. Like that's just how it goes. Like the more familiarity that you are with someone, the more open they are, the more you're like, oh, I can buy it in. I do kind of, I am kind of getting a bit, I'm kind of going off on a monologue here, but the word relatable, sometimes it almost seems forced. Like there's so many mountain bike channels popping up. It's like, oh, hey everyone, I'm just like you. I'm just an average mountain biker. And there's probably a channel name called like Average MTB or something like that.
Relatable MTB.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's not like that's not, you're forcing it down people's throats. Like that's not. It's like, oh God, I gotta be relatable. Like, oh my God, like, geez, like it's not that at all. Like they'll just relate to you because you're another human being. Like, and every human being is more similar to each other than they would ever want to let on, like regardless of social status.
Sure.
And it's just about doing it at the end of the day. Like that's the biggest hurdle to overcome. Like Sheyn, for example, he always never uploads a video unless I tell him to upload a video. And because I want to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think like everyone just needs a bit of confidence. And a bit of injecting is like, yeah, you can do it. And but the number one rule of doing it is just to go out and do it. Like if it helps, like I've been speaking to a whole bunch of pro riders, including one very local to here who wants to start a YouTube channel. They have exactly the same fears about you. And they're like some of the best riders in the freaking world. So like, that's the relatableness of it. Like even saying in camera, like that's why I leave all my mistakes and stuff in. It's just like, because that's how it is. Like, why would I try and check? Why would I make myself appear to be a better mountain biker than I already am? Because I'm not. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
totally.
I think that's just part of it. Like, if you go out and you have a shit day on a bike, like say, oh frick, I just had a shit day on a bike. Like, I think that's a big thing of it. Is like, don't try and force things. Just like but you just have to practice it over and over again. Like, you didn't start writing papers on the ice thickness of Antarctica because you suddenly decided yesterday that you were going to do it. You spent years practicing and learning. And I think that's a big thing.
You really do have a shit ton of videos though. You've put out a lot of videos.
You've done a load of videos.
A lot of reps. More than me, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't remember. 100 or something? I'm not sure. I don't know how many there are.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm scrolling and it's still going.
Okay, maybe not 100, but I've been trying to post like
And it
once a
seems
week.
like you have planned it. Like you make intro videos for yourself. Like, you know,
Yes.
like the ones that like your first video is an intro video. There's a minute 50. It's just like, this is me. And then
Yeah,
I
it's
think
supposed
you
to
did
grab
another.
you.
Yeah. Like you've planned this. Just saying.
Yeah, definitely, you know, like been trying to play or to the game to YouTube algorithm or whatever you want to call that, to like post every week at a specific time, or not a specific time, but at a specific day.
Every
But yeah.
Tuesday, 9 a.m.
Tuesday 9 a.m.
There you go.
Except the last month.
Plugged.
Except the last one. But there's loads of people that have that in their
Yeah.
thing and don't post. Okay, so here's the tip.
Okay.
Is so the number one thing that I always tell everyone is it's called a title for a reason. It's not called file name. Because so many people will label their videos like a file name as they would store it in their computer, so it's easy to find. Okay, that's not how titles work. Like you don't see a news title called blah 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 dot mp4 or something. So, and you talked about story, which again is very important, having like a beginning and middle and end. But the title and thumbnail must kind of also follow that. So I always say with a title, the best thing to do is to focus on the best thing that happened in the video, whatever that may be. That is the title that draws people in. So even for example, like your channel name is, I'm excited that you found my channel. Like that's an interesting title. It's like, hey, you watching, I'm excited that you found this. And it's kind of, it creates curiosity, right?
Yeah.
But so, you know, for example, like you did the review of this feedback stand. Obviously it's kind of is a searchy thing, but like, so for example, one thing that I did, and I got this from Josh on my GoPro video that was comparing the 7.8. I didn't call it GoPro Hero 8 versus GoPro Hero 7. I said, you shouldn't buy the GoPro Hero 8 instead of the Hero 7. And
People are like, why shouldn't I buy it?
Exactly. And that's what is very important in terms of titling, and make it like, you've got to really think like, if I saw this and it was in the sidebar of YouTube, would I click on this?
Right. Well, clickbait. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is clickbait. It's got a bad connotation. I mean, if you put like, backflipped 70-foot canyon cap, almost died, and then you went out and rode a blue trail, that's not gonna work.
Right.
So, but you know, if you focus on something that interesting, like, you know, like let's say the Navajo Rocks video that you did, like, you know, couldn't believe I was riding next to a canyon or something like that. Just something that will garner in some emotion and some intrigue from the viewer.
That's a good point. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that would be my first tip. I'm so boring. I could do this forever.
No,
honestly.
we could go on for hours. Like I'm just like picking you guys' brains and like,
yeah. And the other thing is like understanding from the thumbnail what is going on in the video is like rule one, and it being clear to see. So you can even see from that Navajo Rocks video, or even, you know, your I found my channel video, like it's very clear what's in the video, and there's lots of contrast and light and darkness and bright colors that stand out. Even the POC knee pad one, like the fact that there's a black, you know, it's a black knee pad on on skin. It's like, it stands out. It's very contrasty and will, grab things.
He almost called you pale.
Oh, shut up. No. And then it's like, that's
I don't
it.
tan well.
Me neither. I'm as white as they come. But I think that's the other thing. But definitely thinking about the tile and how it relates to the thumbnail. Don't treat them as separately. Like, have them play off each other. That's another thing. And I think that could be a great way of you helping to grow and reach more women as mountain bikers.
Yep, that's the goal.
So with all of these critiques and everything, with
I went on too much.
With Paul's soapbox, when all is said and done, like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Like, what's your goal?
Ooh, good question. Good question, Shane. Good question.
What's my goal? Like with the channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like long-term goal.
I want to be known in the mountain biking community, in the female mountain biking community, as, that Sprocket Girl, that girl who's on YouTube, whose videos I watch regularly and who inspires me or inspired me to start mountain biking. Like, I want to get to a point where like, maybe I'll meet people who'd be like, wow, I watched your channel, I watched your videos, and thanks to your videos, I got back into mountain biking, or I tried something I never thought I could, or I just like enjoy mountain biking so much, and I, watch your videos because I like you and I like the way, you present your stuff. Like, just be more known, but also inspire more people to like try the sport, because the sport is fucking awesome. I mean, it's so much fun. It's awesome to be outside, and like, I just want to share that with people, and especially women. I want to get more women into mountain biking, and I want them to feel more comfortable with the uncomfortable and to step outside their comfort zone and maybe try something that they didn't think they could do. Like, for instance, when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, I played volleyball and I rode horses, which was fun. I loved doing it, but I never thought that I would be a mountain biker. That was not on my radar at all. That was like something other people did, and I didn't even exactly know what it was. And I never would have thought that like I would be racing an enduro race on a mountain bike one day at like 35. And now I'm doing that, and it's awesome and it's super fun, and I never thought I would do it. And so I'm hoping to inspire some other, woman out there who didn't think that that was something she would do.
It's cool.
There's 3 video ideas you've just said then. I knew I should have written it down. One of them, I never thought I'd never thought I'd race an enduro race. That's one.
Yeah.
That's one. Talk about the emotions of it, like, blah blah. Or like, I never thought I'd race a women's enduro race.
Mm-hmm.
That would probably reach your audience. And the other one is like, what you love about mountain biking. You could literally make a video called "Women, Listen to Me. This is why mountain biking is so great."
That's a great idea.
That is like, and I think like this is a great idea, is that you've got all of these like wishes and wants and stuff. Like, just make videos about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what you want. That's what you want to achieve. Make the video about that.
Riding horses helped me be a better mountain biker.
Maybe, yeah.
Bike body separation.
Yeah, horse body separation.
Horse body, yeah.
Horse versus specialized stump jumper. Which is better?
What's better? Yeah.
Review, long-term review. I mean, that would actually be pretty funny, is if you did a serious review, like, so my horse, it shits 5 times a day. It's a size 15 hand, or however much they are. It's like, my stump jumper is a size medium. Like, I think that'd be quite funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, those are great ideas. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really for it. Like, there was a while where I was just like, there needs to be more women mountain bikers. And I heard about you through Tess. She was like, there's Sprocket Girl. I was like, awesome. I will subscribe to see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to have a lot of breadth, for sure, in this community.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very hard for me to, as much freaking soapboxing I've done, I'm sure I have Dash's messages open on my phone so I can keep looking at them.
She's going to say you talked too much. That's what she's going to say about this one.
I was just about to say, she's like, make sure that she talks more. Try to
Giuliana,
keep talking about her. I'm just trying. But
that's great advice. Thank you, Shane's wife. What is her name again?
Her name is Dash.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dash.
Okay, well, I need to ask one of Dash's questions. Like, what did you have any barriers to mountain biking?
Like before I started?
Yeah, like, did you go, I can't do this because blah, 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 or anything like that?
I kind of just went for it, honestly. Like, I think I might have, like, how should I say this? Like, I didn't have any when I started getting into it. Like, this was like 3 years ago. My now fiance and his brother got back into mountain biking. They were like, hey, we're going to go to Fruta. Do you want to come with us and just try it? And I was like, I'll just try it. I've never done it, but whatever. It was so much fun. It was awesome. Like, obviously I was a complete novice rider, but like, it was so much fun at that time that I never even thought, this is not something that I could do. So I got into it, but I think, like, over the course of the 3 years, there's definitely been times where I was like, I'm not sure I can, participate in this rider to racer program and race an enduro race. Like I had a lot of doubts about that. I had a lot of doubts about certain trails or certain parts of the trails where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It's super scary. Or, I would say that's mainly stuff that I've been kind of dealing with.
So your first ride was in Fruta with two dudes?
Yes.
How did they introduce you to the sport in a way that made you want to keep going? Because it sounds like it was a good experience.
It was great. Yeah.
That could have gone completely the other way.
It could have. Yeah. Well, they gave me kind of the basic tips on how not to fall off my bike. And they stayed with me the whole time. We stopped and sessioned certain parts, or maybe I just walked certain parts. And they weren't impatient with me at all. They were super encouraging. And when I got something, even if it was like super mini small rock feature or something, they were like, yeah, that's awesome. So I felt super encouraged, and yeah, it was great. I mean, you're right. It could have gone another way and I could have been like, well, I never want to do this again. But I think there's also part of me I really love trying new stuff and I really love challenging myself. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can do that. And that's that kind of feeling that I got in the beginning of it. So that might've also helped not feel too intimidated by it in the very beginning.
Well, I know it's probably part of one of your long-term goals, what you're saying, being a role model to women. I think you're already there with 400 of them at least. So congratulations with that.
Thanks.
No, I think it's great. I think you definitely should give yourself a lot of credit. Even uploading one video is like the biggest barrier. It's like rolling into something.
This is all he's thinking about.
I can see you've got you were in Fruta and you do that roll in that I don't even know which trail, the 18 road trails. Yeah, it's probably the same thing. The hardest bit is just rolling over the start of it. Mm-hmm. And you've done it. So there's countless other people that haven't done it. Women that are far more skilled than you, likely they wouldn't do this. Mm-hmm. So it takes a lot of courage to do it.
Yeah, and it's super rewarding and fun, and I just want everyone to know about how awesome mountain biking is, basically.
Yeah. Do you think that the industry, from your perspective, do you think the bike industry is putting enough resources into promoting women's mountain biking?
Great question. From what I can see, but as a side note, I'm not super plugged into the mountain bike industry, but from what I can see and from what I've experienced, yes, I think there's a big effort and a good effort to tailor towards the female community. And especially in kind of the circles that I'm in here in the Denver area, there's a lot of female support groups for mountain biking. And I'm an ambassador for Vita Mountain Bike Series, which is an organization that offers clinics and the Rider to Racer program just for women. And, there's the Giuliana bicycles and the Yeti line that's tailored towards women. So in that sense, personally, I feel like there's a good effort and I appreciate that. I think there could always be more. But I don't know how to explain this, but I also think that
something's bad. Feel free to say something's bad. I mean, you've just said the things that got you into it were nothing to do with the bike industry.
Yeah, exactly.
So does that mean they're doing a bad job? Is that
I wouldn't say that. For me, for instance, this is very personal, obviously for me, but I ride a men's bike. I ride a men's specialized stump jumper, and I don't care. I don't have to have a women's bike. I don't care about the color. I just want a bike that fits me and does what I want it to do and feels good. So personally, I don't care too much about that aspect, but I know that some women do, and some women care about the apparel, and they care about what kind of bike they have, and they care that it's a women's line bike. And so I can't really speak for them. So I think it is very important to have that aspect of the industry. But personally, for me, I would have gotten into mountain biking regardless. I don't care that I ride a men's classified as a men's bike. Does it ride? Yeah. Can I ride on it? Do I have fun? Yes.
But I imagine you're quite a logical based person anyway.
Yes.
So that kind of emotional stuff wouldn't really factor in. I
Not
guess
as much, maybe. Yeah.
Because you're right. I think there are definitely two sides of it. There's women that really don't care, and there's women that actually like. No, I do like having things like made to suit me. I think it's great that there's both, really.
Right, and that's totally fine. But
yeah.
But
So who do you look up? Sorry, Sheyn. I know I said, oh, let's take turns, and now I'm just classic Paul.
I am the quieter host. I'm the quieter host, and I'm fine with that.
Dad's just going to be so annoyed at me. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. I'm really trying. I just get very passionate about stuff, and this is how I react. But like, okay, so women's racing. Let's talk about women's racing. So I spoke to a person in the industry that did have like a lot of influence when it comes to what money goes into the side of women's sport in the grand scheme of things. And they said, at the end of the day, like women don't seem to care about women's racing, women's professional racing, because there is absolutely a huge pay gap between male racers and female racers.
Yeah.
And a lot argue that, if you got rid of that gap, then it would change things. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know, from what I've seen, at least locally, like all the guys are obsessed with racing, regardless of gender, but it doesn't seem to be, I don't have like chats with the women about like who won what race at the weekend. They just more bothered about going biking. So like, is there kind of, do you think there's this might affect things like one way or the other? Like, is Emily Batty and Rachel Atherton, are they going to inspire women bikers of tomorrow? Like, what are your thoughts?
Do you know who Emily Batty and Rachel Atherton are?
I don't.
What?
Just like me.
I'm not.
This is so classic.
Yeah.
Did I
just make him walk away?
Sorry, when I walk away, it's because I see the thermostat over here.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, thermostat in this room is atrocious. It says it's like 25 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
And like it just changes. I don't know if it's actually on or not. If anyone watching this podcast, if you ever see me stand up and walk away, I can still hear. I have headphones.
Back to the point.
I don't know who they are because I'm not plugged into that community or whatever you want to call it. Like and because of that, I don't feel really equipped to answer your question. But I do think that there's probably some women who do have like what do you want to call it? Who look up to women racers or idolize women racers and who feel inspired by them. I just don't know them. I mean, I don't know who these people would be because I don't really talk to other girls about like races or women racers. That being said, I do know one retired enduro racer who's a woman and who's a PhD in the natural sciences, and her name is Anne Gallion. And she,
I know Anne.
Yeah, she won a bunch of enduro races. I don't know exactly when it was, several years ago. And she coached us on the enduro race last year in Snowmass. And it was awesome. It was like, we had a whole preparation, which was like several months. And she came in towards the end and like helped us like ride through the race trails, the racetracks and stuff like that the day before, and was there for questions and just, a general presence that we could talk to if we had anything, any concerns about the race. And it was awesome. It was really cool to have a female racer who also has like a PhD and who's smart and who's, a really awesome rider. And it was really fun to talk to her and to have her around. And so, yeah, if there's anyone out there that I know of who's a female racer, it would be her. And I think she's cool.
She would probably love to hear that. The funny thing is her fellow is Matt Delorme, who's one of the he's a photographer that goes to all the World Cup races and is like knee deep in the world of racing. So it's quite funny that she's the one that the only one that you know. But like, do you just not have? I mean, there's nothing. So here's the thing: there's no barrier to you opening up your computer and watching racing or reading things. So like, what is it that just doesn't appeal to you?
It's not necessarily that it doesn't appeal. It's more that if I watch something on YouTube that's mountain biking related, that it's some, like I kind of was explaining earlier, I'd like to watch stuff that I think is attainable to me. And that's not to say that I wouldn't ever race again, or, like want to watch videos so that I could help myself prepare for another enduro race or whatever. But like what I'm more concerned with at the moment with my riding is like, how can I be better at dropping stuff or jumping, or how can I be better at wheelies, or how can I, be better at body bike separation? Those are kind of more lower level skills than just flat out racing. So that's what I'm looking for personally. And maybe that's what a lot of women are kind of looking for if they're watching mountain bike related content. I don't know.
So people like you and me who don't watch the racers, and specifically women like you who could give a shit about the pro female racers, are we, or are you holding back their salaries? Back to the question.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, right? Because I guess there's a huge wage gap. And is it because, like you said, Paul, women aren't interested? And you just said, Giuliana, that you're not.
Yeah, you represent every woman on the planet right now.
My responsibility. Yeah. I don't know. I actually don't have an answer for that. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I mean, 'cause it's funny because Sheyn is actually basically the same person in the sense that you have no interest in racing. It's not because you don't have any interest in men's racing or women's racing. It's just you don't have any interest in racing.
Yeah.
But that's it. Really, it's a big factor. Like Anne, for example, like could she, if there was more interest in everyone watching the female races, and that influenced the market a lot more. If there were as many, obviously there's not as there's actually a study that's been done to show that women are influenced by female athletes and men are influenced by male athletes and female athletes. So technically, money is better spent on women athletes because you're going to reach a large demographic. But again, at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it's a very complicated question. And I don't think many people have the answer, because really the way to support women's racing is to, spread the word about it and create more interest.
I was going to say, yeah. Isn't it more of like a chicken and egg question? Like if they promoted it more, don't you think it would come to the masses more and to women more? They would watch it more, then it would be more promoted, et cetera, et cetera. Like how is it?
It's promoted. It couldn't be more promoted, I think, at the moment in terms of the racing. It's on, the biggest action sports media type brand is Red Bull. They have women on there, and arguably the cross country part of it last year was the women's racing was more exciting and it was covered more because all the women have better personalities than all the male racers, which is like, that's just a fact.
100%.
Exactly. So Red Bull covered the women's stuff more because it was more interesting. But again, there's no barrier. It's just, I don't know, are people just not as interested in it? And is that going to mean that there's less money pumped into women's side of the sport? Because I say, for example, enduro racing, if we look at that, like that is the reason 160 mil travel bikes are so good right now. And because there's so much development into it, because all of a sudden there was this world stage where all of the brand's kits were tested. Like that's fact. That's what happened. So does that then apply to every other aspect of the sport, i.e., money going into women's cycling? If there was more, if there was a place that had like a huge interest, i.e. women's racing, and everyone, and you, Giuliana, were like, oh, wow, like, is Rach Laston going to come back and win another World Cup, or is she going to retire? Like, if there was all this speculation, would that then promote the next generation of racers coming through and, a younger crowd of girl racers? Like, and is that going to make a big difference? Who knows? I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I don't know if people are like if women are just not interested in watching, like, so race is more, to me at least, it's more like entertainment. I would watch it to be entertained, but not to learn something. So I watch other videos to learn something or to improve my own skills, or like I would go take a clinic with Vita mountain bikes so that I could improve my riding or my skills. But the racing for me is purely an entertainment thing. So I'd rather spend my time improving myself and learning something for myself than just watching something that, I could also just watch a movie on Netflix.
Okay. Right. I see.
I don't know. Like maybe a lot of women are more like, I would rather just go out and ride or take a clinic and not watch races. I don't know. Just speculation.
I mean, there's no wrong answer. Remember, there's no wrong answer. Like, I don't know the answer. They don't know the answer. I mean, if you just like, I have no interest in it because it's boring. Like that is also an answer. Like, let me try this. Shane, why don't you watch racing? Even though I talk about it all the time with you, and I'm like, oh, Shane, racing, the race this weekend, blah 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 blah.
You kind of on the same thing with Giuliana. I'd rather go ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's boring.
There's an answer.
You've actually got me into it a little bit.
But here's the thing. It's like if you have no interest in something, it means it's boring to you. If you're like, I'd rather go and ride, I'd rather do something else because it's not as boring as this thing that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
It's like if people stop watching your video, it's not because it's too long, it's because it's too boring.
Yeah.
Like movies are 2 hours long. People will watch those. Time is not an issue with videos. It's about if it's exciting or not. And I think that's the same thing really with the racing is like, if you find it boring and you have no interest in it, then that's kind of how it is, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Well, I have gotten into it a little bit, but the ones that I have gotten into are probably, I would say, the women's racing. It's captivating,
And why is it more interesting to you than the men's racing?
Well, they provide coverage like on their personalities and like their interviews are more captivating, I would say. I don't know. Yolanda Neff and Pauline
So close.
Provo.
Yeah. Yes, that's good enough.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
Emily Batty, like they put out some like personal vlog stuff for her. I don't know. It can be entertaining at times, but I think when all is said and done, we've gotten to know you maybe a little bit on top of Paul's talking too much.
Oh, I tried.
Yeah.
I tried so hard.
That's okay. I said a decent amount of stuff.
But if you were to leave our listeners with one thing about yourself, like one thing to hang your hat on, what would you tell them to wrap it up?
About myself. I feel like it comes back to the message of my YouTube channel. If I can go out there and learn how to mountain bike and race an enduro race and make it onto the podium of our little group and have an awesome time at it, then so can you. Because mountain biking's for everyone and it's a ton of fun.
Well, I can't wait to see that exact video come out Tuesday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time.
Oh, you're giving me like 3 days.
You have 4 days
Okay.
to make it. Like this is the thing. Like I think that's really going to be the secret of. And if there's any dead space in your videos, cut it out. If there is a second where no one is talking and nothing is happening, slice and dice. Like
Gone.
that's it. If I could look, hang on. Am I plugged in? No, I'm not plugged in. I was going to show you. Literally, I will zoom in as close as I can to the volume indicator, and if there is even like this much like space where no one's talking, I cut that bit out. I go through my whole video and go cut.
So you don't have any sequences where there's just like where it's just you riding down an awesome trail and you can hear like the gravel crunching and stuff?
No, because it's so boring. Because there's 100,000 videos of that. That's that video.
Whatever, Paul. You have POV.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, I even brought it up earlier. There were 2 videos, and I was like, "Oh, what's the difference between them?" Is that one of them was just that. It would just be riding down this blue trail. It's like,
got it.
Scrap. And that's that's why the voiceover has been the savior of point of view footage. Like, look at old Eric on BCPAV, crushing it.
Yeah,
crushing it. And it's God, my POV videos don't do very well. People must just not be interested in POV anymore. No, it's not. There's no such thing as a video that's too long. It's a video that's too boring. That's the honesty.
Who were you imitating there right then about POV?
Every freaking blah 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 MTB channel. Oh, Ryan did say that. Yeah.
Lone Ranger.
Great.
Sorry.
Other people do it as well. I wasn't just targeting one person.
I know.
Wait for the
All
comment
right.
below now. I do not do that.
This is the Joey podcast. So we are going to move on to our next segment. Thank you very much, Giuliana, for all that about yourself.
Yeah.
We are going to move on to the Joey of the week after a word from our sponsors.
They're not our actual sponsors, Shane.
Well-
They're just random sponsors. What if it's something bad?
Random
what if we
sponsors.
What if we get a freaking advert? I don't know, for the gun support. Yeah,
Well,
we're going to be screwed.
from
We can't say anything about that.
a podcast sponsor.
Yeah, we have a generic podcast sponsor. We don't know what it is. We certainly don't endorse it. If they're good, we endorse it.
If they're bad, no.
If they're bad, exactly, Giuliana. If they're bad, we don't endorse it. Save job.
But if you click through anyway, we'll get that moolah. All right.
Is it you? Is it me? It's the Joey of the week.
Moving on to Joey of the Week, Giuliana, we normally do this with a format of the listener nominations, and we dropped some listener nominations in there. And then if you have anything Joey moment, we will move on to you as well. But would you like to start off with Marty Richards?
Yes, Joey moment. Made an iPhone chest mount and shuttled to the top of an amazing hill in New Zealand. Rode an amazing 5-minute downhill through beautiful sheep farms. But camera was wrong. Way around. So got black sound only. 5-minute clip.
What did I tell you about the grammar of these comments? Like, you
That's
can be reading
awesome.
them, and it's just like, what?
No punctuation, but that's okay.
There is a full stop after farms. I see one.
Oh, yeah.
Two. That's hard.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry.
I wonder
I'm sorry, Octodad.
I wonder what that iPhone chest mount looked like. You just duct taped an iPhone to your chest. I'm going to make a POV video. Hey, you can. You
Oh,
can.
God.
Hey, but Marty Richards Octodad, that probably provided some ASMR.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Camera was wrong. I've just realized what he said.
Okay, now you get it.
Oh, here's the camera. I'm just going to turn that around and put it on my chest. That reminds
Oh
me
my
of.
God.
That reminds me of that. Have you seen that? I think it's like a GoPro guy. He went to like Las Vegas or something, and he's like, "My dad took a GoPro, and he didn't know which way the camera was, and the whole video is him pointing at himself." Oh, that is really bad. Okay,
that's
I
pretty
fully
good.
appreciate that now. Wow.
We have a quick one from Sam Webb with no extra number. His Joey moment is he was riding with a mate who willingly rode in flip-flops.
No.
I don't know if he chose to do it. Is it Joey?
It's technically no. You're quite right, Shane. If we look
Would
at
be-
the mantra of what qualifies as a Joey, it's not a Joey move.
If it was an accident, it might be Joey.
Yeah,
Okay,
if he-
so is a Joey moment kind of like a facepalm moment?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
Or like,
They're like,
I got
Jerry of the day.
It's like going up and getting your camera out. The camera is here and going, oh no, I'm going to turn it the other way around and point it at my chest. Like
Right.
that is the equivalent. What's what I'm looking for? Anyway, that's the Jerry moment kind of thing that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Camera behind the handlebars. Wow, that doesn't have MGB in the title.
It doesn't.
I 10 out of 10. I nominate myself for Jerry of the Week. I woke up at 7 a.m. to go to film a video. I rode 7 kilometers to the trailhead. Then I realized that I forgot my SD card for my GoPro at home. I went back home where I couldn't find it. I checked. Hold on a minute. This was last week.
This was
This
a
is
comment on the last.
Are you sure? I've
I
read
think
this one
this
before.
is a new story. This is a new story.
Someone else is doing. Dude,
I
I am
bet so.
so.
Because I don't think we've had camera behind handlebars on last week.
Hold on, but I know what we have had is Dash coming on and saying that you abused your child by not putting elbow pads on her and going for a bike ride.
We'll just. Oh, I felt so bad.
See, we've had double comments, Shane. You're in charge of the document.
I felt so bad. I took my 7-year-old out on a trail. And I was like,
But
hey,
this
you
was
want to wear
last
your
time.
elbow pads?
Oh.
This was
She was like,
last
no,
time.
I don't want to wear my elbow pads.
Shane, okay, don't tell me about your parenting. Just think about the document here. It's way more important. What I don't, and you've already said this. Dash has already commented this in the podcast.
I pulled comments from last week's video.
Okay, but I swear maybe I've just read them twice. Okay, take 2. And the SD card was in there the whole time. It just wasn't properly put in, so the GoPro didn't recognize it. Camera behind handlebars. That is a pretty Joey move. Giuliana, that is
Totally.
fascinating.
Yep.
Going out,
it is.
thinking, oh, I forgot my SD card, but it's actually in, but you didn't put it in right. And you didn't check. Anyway.
I feel like I would do something like that.
I swear these
My vote is for Octodad with his iPhone chest mount.
Yeah, just filming your chest the whole time, I guess.
Octodad MTB, you get the Joey of the Week award because none of us have ridden. We don't get any Joeys of the Week. It's all you, man.
Oh wait, yeah, hold on. Some of us might have done some Joey moves though. I'm trying to think what. Well, I mean, I kind of guess I did a Joey move. So I ordered for my Shimano order this year. I ordered everything all at once because I wanted to be as efficient as possible. So I spent ages figuring out what I would need throughout the year to get it shipped all at once, as environmentally friendly as I can be, and went all the way through. And then I ordered all my wheels, and I was like, I need this. Anyway, I get my wheels, and I get my rotors, and the rotors are 6-bolt, and all my wheels are center lock.
No. So you have to get those little adapters.
I do have some adapters, but I also had to ask for I had to ask for the correct rotors and be like, oh, you know, when I sent you this big list and I was like, yep, this is everything I'm gonna need. That's not actually true. I actually need this, and this. So that's my real, first world problem Jerry moment, I guess. Giuliana, have you been doing any Joey moments this week?
Joey moments this week. I can't think of any mountain bike related ones, but there's definitely been some awkward moments on like Zoom when I was working from home where, you forget to turn off the microphone and you're like talking to someone in the background, but it wasn't super embarrassing. So it's not,
it's not like
exciting.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's so annoying. He always talks over everyone. Oh shit.
Yeah, he talks over everyone. Keeps on talking about his own YouTube channel. God, I hate him.
We had one where there was a toilet flush in the background.
Nice.
Taking a meeting from that. I don't know. Maybe me.
Here we go.
My daughter was super upset with me for. She was like, "You don't pee in a bottle and show it on Instagram," because I use it as my pee bottle. She was like, "That's like taking a poo and showing them your poo, Dad." I'm already embarrassing her. I don't know if that's a Joey moment though, but
she kind of has a point though.
Yeah, these Simply bottles make for good pee bottles.
Yeah, they have the wide opening. Yeah,
exactly. That's like I can't believe I didn't think about juice bottles when I was going to look for a pee bottle when I went in my van. But here's the thing: I still don't think that was actually pee because it was so much the same color as apple juice. I'm now concerned about you.
Limeade. Yeah, it was. I was very dehydrated.
I was going to say, yeah.
I filled this thing up like twice and this is 52 ounces. I've peed 100 ounces, but it was still all dark.
Great content.
Okay, I'm still trying to figure out why you couldn't go to the bathroom, like the real bathroom.
Oh, I've mastered it on the road where I can just keep driving.
Oh, okay.
I've got the steering wheel still.
So safe, really safe. Great messages to be sharing with everyone.
All right.
Yep.
There we go. But yeah, I'd like. I think this is great, Giuliana. Thanks for coming on. I kind of want these podcasts to be more discussive rather than interviewive. I think.
Yeah.
Because then, like every time you go on a podcast, like, oh, Giuliana's on this podcast. Oh, it's the same thing. Which is why I was like trying to focus more. Well, I personally wanted to hear more about your views on, how do you actually get people? Like, how do you get people watching your channel? How do you get women doing this and everything? Because it's something I don't know, and I'm keen to learn as much as I talk over everyone and annoy everyone.
I think that's great. Well, thanks a lot for having me on. It was really fun to talk to you guys. I didn't quite know what to expect, and it was great. I mean, I had a sort of an idea, but I was like, let's just kind of roll with it, and it'll be fine.
And that's how we do every single show. So.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for having me on. It was really fun to chat with you guys, and like, I hope I could ride with you guys someday. I mean, Shane, maybe it's a little more realistic that we'd ride together. But that would be kind of cool to see you guys in real life.
Yeah, certainly. My phone number is 801-5